from like 4 to 8, I began to be molested. For me, it became something so normal. It just became part of my life. All I remember is feeling so dirty and so nasty and ugly and unwanted and rejected and unloved. And through all this time, like my dad was not there. He would come and visit, but I was so naive and that I didn't know that my dad had another family. I remember being at my grandma's house and I was with my cousin playing Barbies, and then when we just heard her car arrive in the parking lot, and then she looked and she's like, just wait here, I'm gonna go and say hi to my uncle. When I look, it was my dad, another woman, and 5 other children, and something in me broke. Right there, I feel rejected. I feel like I was not enough, that my dad didn't stay with me, that he didn't choose me as his daughter. And I felt the ugliest person in the world. I felt rejected. I felt empty. I went to a youth camp and I was 12 years old by then. Just people saying like, you know, if you come to Jesus, you're gonna be clean. If you come to Jesus, you're gonna be pure. If you come to Jesus, he's gonna erase all your past. And something in me knew that that's what I wanted. So I gave my life to the Lord, and I got baptized when I was 12 years old. Things didn't end there though, because I didn't continue to go to church all those years from 12 to like the age of 17. I was just this bitter girl. I remember praying, asking God, Lord, I want to love my father. Not because he deserves it, because you tell me in the word to love my mother and father, to honor them, to respect them, and I want to honor you by honoring them. So one day after praying, God really poured his love in my heart for my dad. And I was like blown away. I'm like, it's crazy. I genuinely do love my father. My dad was never a person who would go and like look for me, but he did when he just made a phone call. He apologized. He asked for forgiveness. He told me that he was proud to call me his daughter. We both cried. We both made plans about like how he was going to come down and visit. I told him, I remember saying like, thank the Lord, because I've been praying for him to pour his love in my heart for you, and he did it. 3 months later, I received a phone call that he had passed away. I was devastated at the moment, but at the same time, I was so thankful that he allowed for me to have a reconciliation with him before he passed away, because God knew that I was going to need that to move on, to completely to be healed and to be restored.
It's my favorite place in Ensenada. It's called Camellia.
People here in Mexico, they're so bold to tell you just what they think. Like if you're looking good or if you're looking bad, if you have gained weight or if you have lost weight, if your hair looks good, if your hair looks bad, they will tell you straightforward how it is. The first thing that I will hear from people, like even my own family, it wasn't not like, hi Lizbeth, how are you? It was more like, oh, you look thinner. Oh, look, oh, you gain weight. Oh, look, your hair is long. Oh, your hair is short. So it was a lot about physical things. I opened my ears to those lies. I didn't own a pair of flats. I needed to wear high heels at all times. It became my identity. It became my idol. They were asking me to dress different, to dress less modest. And at one point I was just like, you know what, like you're saying that you want to go deeper with me, that you want to know my heart more. I need you to believe what I say that you are. And I need for you, your identity to be in Christ, to be in me alone. So I said no to that industry. I wish I can tell that it was so easy, that it was just like, oh, you know, like I said yes and I kept going. But the reality is that I was crying, that I was devastated, that I was like, God, is this really you? A year later after that, God called me to full-time missions. I was ready to give it all to God, just seeing the healing that he was doing in my life. So I was invited backstage of Fashion Weeks and share Jesus, and share the gospel, and share what God has done in my life. God was just like, now I can trust you because you trust me to come to this world, and I know that you're gonna shine my love and you're gonna shine my light. It's not about the look. That's not where value comes from. That's not where your identity is. Your identity comes because you are made in God's image. It's so crazy that he resurrected that dream. And now, like, part of my job, part of the things that I'm doing, and right now I'm leading a ministry that focuses on speaking on identity in Christ to young women and to women.